And those antibodies take 5 to 7 days before they respond. And by then, the organism is literally having a party. But Alright, good day everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, my name is Ifure-Monday. I am a trained medical doctor and also a medical educator. I do make videos on motivation, lifestyle, and faith. Now today I am going to be discussing on vaccines. However, before I get into my topic of vaccines, it's important for us to review what the immune system is. The immune system is a group of cells and organs in the body that are actually responsible for fighting against infection. The immune system is responsible for defense against foreign agents in the body. Speaking about the immune system, we have two types of immunity. Now we have what we call the innate immunity. It's your first line of defense. And we have what we call the specific or adaptive, and this is where I'm heading to. Now for your adaptive immunity, there are two main key players there, and they are called the antibodies and the T cells. Now this adaptive immune response, the cells that play a major role there, they do not respond to foreign agents immediately. They actually take about 5 to 7 days before they are responsive. Don't worry, don't get lost, don't wonder what am I talking about. Just follow me. I will tell you the reason for why you need this information. A vaccine is any agent that is capable of inducing immune response, however, without causing a disease. Now, today is not the lecture to go into different types of vaccine, but I'm going to tell you the principles of vaccine. Now, what vaccines actually do is that they allow your body to respond to the agent. However, they do not cause the disease in the body. So for example, let me give you the common vaccines. Like we have what we call the DPT vaccine, right, which is the diphtheria, pertussis, and tetanus. And these vaccines are given to us to protect us against these three different diseases that are caused by different bacteria. When our body is introduced to that vaccine, the antibodies are going to take time to respond. The antibodies respond to this vaccine because these vaccines are foreign agents. There is going to be release of certain substances, and these can sometimes cause, like, think of it like a war, a battle, right, between the antigen, which is the foreign agent, the vaccine now, and the antibody. And sometimes this can lead to signs and symptoms like fever. There's some of us who take vaccines and afterwards we have to take paracetamol because we do have fever. Some people have body aches depending on the side effects. However, that is not yet the point. Now, when these antibodies or specific T cells are released, there is another type of specialized antibody or T cell or B cell, and these are called memory cells. Now, what are memory cells? Memory cells are cells that are going to fight the same infection the next time you encounter them. Now, our memory cells different from those initial antibodies. They are different because they can be active within 24 hours. Now, let me put it in perspective for you. Now, there are people like me sometimes who are slow responders, right? Somebody does something to us and we are numb on spot. We don't actually respond immediately, right? Because we don't know what to respond. And then we go on, we think about it. We're like, wait, why did I allow that person, respond to me that way? Why didn't I say something? So what do? We prepare ourselves for next time. We're like, the next time I meet that person, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to show them the stuff I'm made up of. And so the next time the person comes, the person probably thinks, oh, you're stupid or whatever, you do. But you're like, yo, excuse me, I'm sure you're not talking to me. You are ready. You're already on attack. And I want you to think of really your antibodies in that way. And that's what vaccines do. Vaccines make sure that you have antibodies that are ready to fight should you encounter that particular antigen, right? So that is how the vaccines work. So think of even the police force, right? So you're working for the police force, you're working, you're doing security, whatever, something that has to do with defending and protecting. Nobody's just going to recruit you and say, oh, okay, today you're posted to so and so. No, rather, they're going to take you through a series of training, and they give you different scenarios while you're training. And the reason is because should peradventure you encounter that particular scenario, you'll be able to respond. And that is the same thing with our immune system. Well, you have to understand that the COVID-19 itself, the coronavirus, is contagious. Before I get into that, let me give you an example. Now, You got your DPT vaccine, right? Another partner did not get the DPT vaccine. Both of you are working, let's say, on a farm or whatever, and you get pricked by a rusty nail. Both of you did not go and seek health care. What happens is that you were vaccinated against the tetanus. Before the organism starts to multiply, those memory cells are going to respond, and guess what? They would kick out that organism before the organism is able to even multiply. Let's talk about your partner. The other person never got the tetanus vaccine. So what happens to this person? This person never went to the health center, didn't go to the hospital. Days later, this person is complaining of severe muscle spasm, and the person lands in ICU. Now you're going to be like, but wait, we got pricked by the nail. Why don't I have the symptom? Maybe you just have mild fever and maybe just a little muscle ache, and that's it for you. But you have to remember that because you were vaccinated, you had antibodies that responded. Because for this other person, this person's antibodies, because they've never been exposed to that specific antigen before. And those antibodies take 5 to 7 days before they respond. And by then, the organism is literally having a party. But you, on the other hand, before the organism can even decide to multiply, your antibodies are there to fight it off. And so you have this question. Okay, if you're saying that vaccines are going to protect us, why is it that with the COVID vaccine, we still have to put on masks? Why is it that we still have to sanitize our hands? Well, the tetanus that I gave you, you have to understand that it's not a contagious disease. However, with the coronavirus, the disease is contagious. So, even if you're vaccinated with the COVID-19 virus, it does not mean that you cannot get the infection. However, it reduces your chances of being hospitalized. It reduces your chances of having severe coronavirus illness. Yes, I know some of you are going to say, but I swear I know people that are vaccinated and they died. Look at the data. Look at the statistics. Many of these people that you know, most likely they do have comorbidities that maybe makes it difficult for their immune system to respond or fight appropriately. So you taking the vaccine is going to protect you. However, it doesn't mean that you're 100% protected. It just means that if you get the infection, there is a less likely chance you'll end up in ICU. There is a lower chance of you really getting severe symptoms, right? But because it's contagious, you can still spread it to other people. And that is why even with the vaccine, we still have to follow the protocol. Honestly, you have to appreciate technology. You have to appreciate advances in science and technology and in medical research. Yes, I know years ago, right? Before they make a vaccine, it takes years and time. But you have to understand that this is not safe, right? It's not going to be approved. And we need to stop with the conspiracies, honestly. Now, think of even everyday life. Those days, it was difficult to travel from maybe one country to another, like many years ago. And I'm sure when they first made airplane, people were like, oh my God, that is witchcraft. How can people fly in the air? That's not possible. Think of, even in our everyday life, right? Like, I'm a Nigerian. Now, back in those days, some people, if they want to make like stew or sauce, the pepper and the tomato, they would grind it with stone. And that takes time to do. But today, if I want to make a stew or a sauce, I have a food processor, I have a blender, just put it in, boom, and I'm done. Like, literally. I know some of you are going to be like, oh, it's not the same. It's like, whatever, like, you're just like suffer head, okay? But that's not, the point is that there has been advances in technology, and medicine is taking advantage also of that advances in technology. And also, information, advances in research has been done today. So for me, rather than thinking that the COVID thing is a conspiracy stuff, I'm going to attribute it to advances in science and technology. You all have to stop with the conspiracy theories. Honestly, it's ridiculous. I'm telling you that. The conspiracy theories, what they do is they undermine the effort of healthcare workers. Healthcare workers are literally on the front line. Some of them don't go home to their family for days. Some of them, they have to be in a remote area maybe for months and weeks taking care of people. And you are out there spreading false information. That is not helpful to anybody at all. What you're doing is undermining the effort of healthcare workers, and that needs to stop. I mean, those people with a conspiracy theory, like y'all, like, do you guys have any of them like on your WhatsApp status? They blow my mind. Honestly, it's like today they come up with one video, the next one is another video. It's like, and just when you think you've edited it all, it's like the next video literally blows my mind. It's like, whoa, you guys just never stop. Like, seriously, you guys really need to stop with the conspiracy. As a concerned citizen, because I see that there are really a lot of people that want to make that decision, but they're not sure what to do. They're not really sure if they should take the vaccine or not. Definitely, I know some people, like, even if God himself comes down to tell them to take the vaccine, they're gonna be like, nah. Some people have made up their mind, but I know that there's some people who are 1 foot in, 1 foot out. They're not sure what to do, and I'm hoping that you can make an informed decision as to whether to take the vaccine or not. This video is very short. Now, if you want me to make like more information on like our vaccines, immunity, and all of that, just let me know in the comment section and I will do that. And do not forget to like and subscribe, and thank you guys so much for your support as always. Bye.